Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we are taking a close look at a fascinating Australian commemorative coin, the Australia $1 2010 Centenary of Girl Guiding coin. This coin was issued to celebrate 100 years of girl guiding in Australia, making it an interesting piece of modern Australian numismatic history. The coin was released by the Royal Australian Mint in 2010. The commemorative design celebrates the centenary of girl guiding in Australia, from 1910 to 2010. On the reverse, you can see the Girl Guides Australia emblem, including the distinctive trefoil and star design, together with the inscriptions Centenary of Girl Guiding, 1910 Australian, 2010 Girl Guides Australia, and $1. The reverse was designed and sculpted by Wojciech Pietranek. The obverse features the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This Australian $1 coin has a diameter of approximately and weighs. It is made from aluminium bronze, consisting of approximately. The coin has an interrupted milled edge and was produced as a circulating commemorative coin. The Royal Australian Mint records a circulation mintage of about pieces for the 2010 Girl Guiding commemorative dollar. That is a substantial production figure, so the normal circulated example is not considered extremely rare, simply because of its age or commemorative design. However, collectors may still be interested in examples with excellent surfaces, strong details, original luster, unusual mint errors, or special collector packaging. Now let's talk about the condition you mentioned as rust calculator condition. If by this you mean a coin with rusty-looking, brown, dark, stained, or heavily circulated surfaces, the condition can have a major effect on its collector value. Unlike a rare mint error, ordinary environmental discoloration or surface damage generally does not make a coin more valuable. In fact, cleaning or corrosion can reduce collector appeal. For a normal circulated 2010 Girl Guides dollar, current reference values are generally modest. Numista's available valuation data lists ordinary circulation examples around L depending on grade, while its higher grade examples can be worth more. Coins in Australia give substantially higher guide values for certified or mint state pieces, including approximately, and these figures are guide values rather than guaranteed selling prices. So, if your 2010 Girl Guides $1 coin has noticeable brown or rusty-looking discoloration and ordinary circulated wear, a realistic collector market expectation would generally be around $1.60, $0 to $2.40. 0 depending on the exact condition and whether the discoloration is natural toning or actual corrosion. A particularly attractive uncirculated example, me could bring several dollars more, while a genuine and desirable mint error could potentially command a premium. One important point for collectors is to carefully inspect the coin before assuming that it is rare. Look at the lettering, the Girl Guides emblem, the date, the edge, and both sides of the coin. Check for unusual die characteristics, major striking errors, or other varieties. PCGS also lists the 2010 Girl Guides issue as part of the Australian $1 circulation year set, showing that it is a recognized collectible issue. Another interesting fact is that the Royal Australian Mint also produced special collector versions of the Girl Guiding dollar. The Mint's records show a 2010 rolled Girl Guiding dollar issue, with a mintage of, while Numista records 7,499 rolls of 20 coins, or 149,980 coins for one collector roll issue. Special packaging and presentation can therefore make certain examples more desirable than an ordinary coin taken from circulation. For collectors, the best advice is simple. Do not clean the coin aggressively. Scrubbing, polishing, chemicals, or abrasive materials can leave permanent marks and may reduce the value. Instead, keep the coin dry, handle it by the edges, and store it in an appropriate coin holder or capsule. In conclusion, the Australia $1 2010 Centenary of Girl Guiding coin is a beautiful commemorative issue with an important connection to Australian social history. Its circulation mintage of around means that an ordinary circulated example is generally not a high-value rarity. If your coin has rusty or heavily discolored surfaces, its value may remain close to or only a little above it. On the other hand, A brilliant uncirculated example, a special collector issue, or a genuine mint error could be considerably more interesting to collectors. Next up, today we are taking a close look at an Australian $1 coin dated 2016, particularly a coin showing heavy dark or black discoloration on the front side. If you have found a similar coin in your collection, pocket change, or an old coin box, you may be wondering whether its unusual appearance makes it rare and how much collectors might pay for it today. The Australian $1 coin was introduced into circulation on May 14, 1984, replacing the $1 banknote. The standard reverse design features 5 kangaroos, created by Australian coin designer Stuart Devlin. The regular $1 coin is made from an aluminium-bronze alloy containing in diameter. The 2016 issue is especially interesting because Australia released several $1 varieties that year. The Royal Australian Mint records about standard 2016 $1 coins, while separate commemorative issues had much smaller mintages, including approximately for the 100 years of Anzac design and anniversary of decimal currency issue. Now let's talk about the most noticeable feature of the coin in today's video, the rust black or dark appearance on the front side. A dark brown-black or discolored surface can result from environmental exposure, oxidation, chemical reactions, or other forms of surface alteration. Although this can make a coin look unusual, discoloration by itself does not automatically make an ordinary circulation coin rare or valuable. In fact, collectors generally prefer coins with original surfaces and minimal damage or alteration. For a normal 2016 Australian $1 circulation coin, current price guides indicate that circulated examples are generally worth around their face value, while higher-grade examples can bring a modest premium. One current guide lists approximately pieces for the standard 2016 circulation issue and gives indicative values around $1 for lower grades, rising to a few dollars for better mint state examples. So, what could your dark or black-fronted 2016 coin be worth in today's collector market? If the coin is simply a circulated example with environmental discoloration and no genuine mint error, a realistic estimate would generally be around $1.78, $0 to $2.60, $0 depending on its condition, appearance, and buyer interest. A particularly attractive high-grade example could bring more, while a heavily damaged or corroded coin may sell for little more than. There is an important exception. If the unusual appearance is caused by a genuine minting error, rather than damage or post-mint environmental exposure, the value could potentially be much higher. However, a proper examination would be needed before calling a coin an error. Collectors should be careful about online claims suggesting that every unusual-looking coin is worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. For collectors, the best thing to check is the date, design, weight, diameter, edge, and overall condition. Also compare the coin with confirmed examples of the 2016 varieties. The standard coin has the familiar 5 kangaroo reverse, while 2016 also included commemorative $1 issues. Another important point is condition. A coin with strong original detail, sharp lettering, clear kangaroo features, and little wear is generally more desirable than a heavily circulated example. Dark discoloration should not be cleaned aggressively because cleaning can leave scratches or an unnatural surface and may reduce collector appeal. Based on currently available price information, an ordinary 2016 Australian $1 coin is not considered a major rarity simply because it is from 2016. The standard issue had a large circulation mintage of, however, specific commemorative versions, varieties, mint products, and genuine errors can have significantly different values. So, if your 2016 Australian $1 coin has a rust black front side, don't throw it away, and don't assume that the discoloration automatically makes it extremely valuable. Keep it safely, identify exactly which variety you have, and check the coin's condition carefully. For an ordinary circulated example with dark surface discoloration, a reasonable collector market estimate is roughly with exceptional varieties or authenticated errors potentially worth considerably more. Next up, today, we are taking a closer look at an interesting Australian commemorative coin, the Australia $1 coin from 2002, known as the Year of the Outback. If you have this coin in your collection, you may be wondering whether it is simply worth its face value or whether collectors could pay more for it today. The 2002 Year of the Outback $1 coin was issued by the Royal Australian Mint to commemorate Australia's celebration of the Outback. The Outback is one of the most recognizable parts of Australia's geography and culture, and the 2002 celebration was designed to recognize its history, achievements, and importance to the nation. The Royal Australian Mint lists a mintage of about for this circulating commemorative $1 coin. The coin has an attractive and meaningful design. On the obverse is the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, with the inscription identifying Elizabeth II Australia and the year 2002. On the reverse is the stylized outline of Australia, combined with the Southern Cross, along with the words $1, 2002 Year of the Outback. The reverse design was created by Wojciech Pietrnik. For collectors, the coin's composition is also worth mentioning. The standard circulating version is made from aluminium bronze, consisting of approximately and measures approximately in diameter. Now let's talk about condition. The condition of a coin can make a major difference to its collector value. A circulated example with noticeable scratches, marks, discoloration, or wear will normally be worth much less than a bright, sharply detailed uncirculated example. Since the coin in today's video is described as being in fine condition, we should keep our expectations realistic. Fine condition means that the major design elements remain visible, but the coin has experienced noticeable circulation and surface wear. So, what could a 2002 Year of the Outback $1 coin in fine condition be worth today? The ordinary circulating version is not considered extremely rare because millions were produced. Current price guide information shows that higher-grade examples can command premiums, while circulated examples generally remain relatively close to their, for a normal fine-condition circulated coin, a reasonable collector market estimate would be approximately $2.78, $0 to $3.60, $0 depending on the exact condition, eye appeal, buyer interest, and whether the coin has a recognized variety or special feature. This is an estimate rather than a guaranteed selling price. There are, however, special versions of the 2002 Year of the Outback dollar that can be considerably more interesting to collectors. The Royal Australian Mint produced mintmark and counterstamped versions, as well as uncirculated, proof, and silver versions. The proof version could feature a colored presentation of the Year of the Outback logo, while the fine silver proof was a separate collector issue. These should not be confused with the ordinary circulated aluminium bronze coin. Collector demand for this coin comes largely from its commemorative design and its connection to an important Australian theme. Australian decimal collectors often enjoy collecting commemorative $1 coins from different years, especially examples with strong details and attractive surfaces. The Year of the Outback design is also visually distinctive because it combines the map of Australia with the Southern Cross. If you have one of these coins, take a close look before deciding its value. Check the date, the design, the edge, and especially the overall condition. Look for unusual minting errors, unusual markings, or a mint mark or counterstamp that could identify it as a special issue. Do not clean the coin, because cleaning can damage its original surface and may reduce its desirability to collectors. It is also important to remember that online price guides are estimates. Actual selling prices can vary considerably depending on the marketplace, grading, authentication, buyer demand, and the exact variety of the coin. A price listed for an uncirculated or proof example should not be applied to an ordinary fine-condition circulated coin. So, the Australia $1 2002 Year of the Outback in fine condition is an interesting commemorative coin, but its value is generally not extremely high simply because of its age. With millions of examples produced for circulation, rarity is not the main factor for the standard version. For a typical fine condition example, an estimated collector value around is a sensible range, while exceptional varieties, mint-marked pieces, proof examples, or very high-grade coins can be worth substantially more. Next up, today we are taking a closer look at an interesting Australian commemorative coin, the Australia $1 coin from 2001, issued to celebrate the International Year of Volunteers. If you have this coin in your collection or recently found one in your change, you may be wondering whether it is actually rare and how much it could be worth in today's collector market. The International Year of Volunteers was designated by the United Nations for 2001 with the goal of recognizing and promoting the important contribution made by volunteers around the world. To commemorate the occasion, the Royal Australian Mint released a special $1 circulation coin featuring the International Year of Volunteers design. The Royal Australian Mint records a mintage of about coins, making this a much lower mintage issue than many ordinary Australian $1 coins from the period. On the obverse of the coin is the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, with the inscriptions identifying Elizabeth II, Australia, and the year 2001. The reverse carries the International Year of Volunteers design, with the words International Year of Volunteers 2001 and $1. The commemorative reverse was designed by Wojciech Pietranek. The coin is made from aluminium bronze, consisting of approximately and has a diameter of approximately. It was produced as a circulating coin rather than as a standard proof issue, meaning examples were released into everyday Australian circulation. Now let's talk about condition, because condition is extremely important when determining the value of a coin like this. A fine condition example will normally show noticeable signs of circulation. Some of the finer details of the design may have softened, and the coin can have scratches, contact marks, or general surface wear. This is very different from an uncirculated example that still retains its original mint appearance. So, is the 2001 International Year of Volunteers $1 coin rare? It is certainly a collectible commemorative issue, and its mintage of approximately pieces is relatively modest. However, it should not automatically be considered an extremely rare coin simply because it is a commemorative issue. Millions were produced for circulation, and ordinary circulated examples can still be found. For the fine condition coin discussed in this video, the current collector value is generally modest. Numista's current indicative data lists a 2001 example in fine condition at around $2.45, 0 to 2, 78,000, with values varying according to condition and market activity. Its data is based on collector evaluations and online sales and should be treated as an indication rather than a guaranteed selling price. It is important to understand that the value can change significantly if your coin has an unusual error, variety, exceptionally attractive surfaces, or a much higher grade than ordinary circulated examples. For comparison, higher grade examples can command several dollars, and coins in Australia currently list values in the United States Dollar Guide rising to approximately, with higher mint state grades reaching substantially more. These figures apply to high-grade examples and should not be confused with the value of a normal fine-condition coin. If you own one of these coins, take a close look at both sides under good lighting. Check the date, lettering, design details, edge, and overall condition. Also look carefully for anything unusual that might indicate a genuine minting error. Do not clean the coin, because cleaning can damage the original surface and may reduce its appeal to collectors. So, the bottom line is that the Australia $1 International Year of Volunteers 2001 is an attractive and historically interesting commemorative coin. In fine condition, a reasonable current collector market indication is around with the exact amount depending on the coin's appearance, authenticity, market, and buyer demand. Exceptionally high-grade or unusual examples can be worth considerably more,